Welcome back to Counterculture. I'm here with Pastor Mark. We have been laughing all morning at Markisms and Mark actions, right? I resemble that remark, is what Mark is going to tell you right then. We're in Luke chapter 4. We're talking about counterculture, things that make our culture have to take a notice of what we're doing, right? Things that kind of go against the flow. I want to go to chapter 4 in Luke. I normally go to verses 18 and 19, talk about the mission of Jesus and all of that kind of stuff and how we're supposed to do that. I want to pick up in verse 20, all right? So I'm going to read out of the Anointed ESV version. And it says this, "And he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down, and the eyes of all in the synagogues were fixed on him." So I want to stop right there because I'm never going to get past this on this one. I just decided that, right? That's not where I wanted to go, but here's where I want to go now, right? There are moments in life where all eyes seem to be fixed on us, right? God does something in our life. He does something through our life. He does something with our life, whatever it is, and all eyes are fixed on that moment, right? We would probably agree on that. I call those spotlight moments, right?
Okay.
In those moments, right, what is the most important thing as Christians? What are the things, I guess it can be more than one thing, but what are the things that we need to remember in those moments when people's eyes are fixed on us? Like that. Yes, exactly like that. What do I need to remember right now?
To keep the main thing the main thing.
Fantastic. What does that mean?
Well, unlike what Bob Benson says, it's not about you, it's about us. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's all about us. That's what we know. Oh, wait a minute. This is counterculture.
Exactly. Thank you.
Ain't about us. Yes, I said ain't. The doctor said ain't.
You've been on a roll like that today.
I have been.
You're almost at the verge of making up words.
Give me time.
Good.
You know, we're on Mount Samurai right now, mm-hmm. So it's good. It is keeping it about Jesus. Now, here's the interesting thing, though. What does that look like?
Wait. In this show, I asked the question.
Oh.
So you answered.
I'm sorry.
Okay. What does that look like?
I retract my question, Your Honor.
Thank you. So, Mark, what does that look like?
That is a great... I wish I would have thought of that, Andy. Man, I'm just... This is why my eyes are fixed on you, Andy.
That's right.
You have such wisdom now that you've joined the club almost.
It should be. That's
50
exactly.
And over. Not that I would mention how old you are.
Because
anyway.
I'm not 50 yet, so...
It's interesting. I have a funny story with that.
Good. Excellent.
I always have a story, but Jesus always taught through stories. This was back years ago when I was in Independence, Missouri. And that is how you say it, by the way, Missouri.
So about 100 years ago.
100 years ago. Before I was born. I remember I had, it gets hot in Missouri, in the Midwest in the summer. I mean, like, oppressively hot. And I had shaved my head down like a Shropshire sheep. I mean, I took her down because it's hot and I have thick hair, I still do. It's gray, but it's, as you well know. Not because, yours is too. That's all. It's like you're looking in a mirror almost.
We're close to being twins.
Right. Yeah, we're oh boy. And I remember this dear saint. That's a statement of faith. She came in. She saw it, and she says, "Oh, Pastor, Jesus would never wear his hair like that." I said, "Yeah, probably wouldn't down to his shoulders." No, he wouldn't have. He would wear his hair like any nice Christian young man would. So now we set the standard for Jesus. I'm so glad he knows that. I knew what she meant. And she just didn't like my hair, and that's okay. She didn't like me either, for that matter. Probably because of that. Here's the interesting thing. What does Jesus look? What does it mean for us to present Jesus? Now, I'm the funniest person I know.
You are.
And so I have a feeling Jesus was hilarious. Mm-hmm. He had to have been.
We had a lot of sarcasm.
I think I should be offended by that for a minute. I'm gonna have to think about it. Anyway,
just makes you more Jesus-like.
Okay, gotcha. What does it look like? Was Jesus serious? Probably at times, but so am I. I can be serious at times. I can be there's aspects of Jesus' life that are very interesting. There was times he used humor. There was times he used sarcasm to get his point across. But do we this notion that as Christians we're to be nice? We're just supposed to be ye kind one to another. So that by coda, you be ye kind one to another. But Jesus wasn't always. What's kindness? I have said the people that love me, that I know love me, are the Andy Freds when he says to me, Mark, that's probably not something you should be doing. That's not very Christ-like. Man, I don't want to hear that, but if it's what I need to hear, now I get to decide from there, is that Andy's stuff? He just wants to be funny like me, and he can't be because he's not. But we have to discern that. But at the end of the day, here's the deal. You know my line. Here's the deal. Is that what did he do? He rolled up the scroll. So we have to be people of the book. I'm amazed at how many people say, "Oh, yeah, I'm a follower of Christ," but they never read the Bible.
So we would talk about that.
We're going to read the book.
Right? Yeah. So
we're going to read the book. Jesus read from the book, but he must have read it in such a way, because that's what it says. It says he rolled up the scroll after he had read it, gave it back to the attendant, sat down. The eyes of everyone in the synagogue was fastened on him.
So mic drop.
Mic drop. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Mic drop. Boom. Scroll drop.
Way more religious in nature. Scroll drop.
Scroll drop.
Yeah. And Jesus, and all the eyes are fixed on Jesus, right? How do we stop in those moments? Because again, lots of people like, right, fixed-eyed moments, right? We love it when everybody's looking at us, right? But in that moment, God makes it very clear in the Old Testament, over and over, examples of people who in that moment, like King Nebuchadnezzar, right, he stands out, looks over his entire city, and he says, wow, look at what God has built. Oh, wait, no. Actually, he said, wow, look at what I have built. Look at what my hands have built. And that didn't go so well for him, right? Because God says to him, this very night, you're in trouble, right? But there's a lot of times when the spotlight is fixed on us where we take the glory from God, right? Where we make it about us, what we want. I see that all the time in ministry. When God gives somebody a great idea, then they commandeer that idea, make it their own, and go off with it.
Yep.
Right? God doesn't give you great ideas so that you can go off with it and do your thing. Right? He didn't say to Noah, hey, build an ark any way you want it. Right? And he said, nope, here's the great idea, build an ark, you're going to need it. Do this, right?
Yeah.
So how do we stop from commandeering fixed-eyed moments?
Well, that is where humility does come in. Where even Jesus, who did not consider equality with God something to be grasped, but humbled himself. Right. If we don't humble ourselves, we will be humbled. We will be humbled. And to be humbled God does not humiliate us. Yeah. He does humble us. There's a difference. There's a difference. And I think it is to remember and to just look and say, there is stuff here. I can look. It's funny, Kierkegaard, and I think John Maxwell paraphrased it very well. I don't know that he was paraphrasing Kierkegaard, but I'm going to assume he did. We live life looking forward. We understand it looking backwards. We're in the 50 and over club, and that's okay.
Wait,
it's a great thing.
I am not 50 yet. I have 5 days of freedom as we do this. By the time these people watch it,
it gets lost in the rounding.
Okay. Oh. We're rounding up.
Here's the deal. We can look back. And I think I've talked about this a little bit. Nothing in my life went the way I had it planned. I joke that God messed up my plans, but here's the problem. He didn't mess up my plans. I didn't have a plan. But he had a wonderful plan. And I've messed it up a few times, but God is not, he doesn't get hindered by that. Okay, so you're going to make it interesting for me. I got this. We'll do this. Okay, all right, we're going to go around Mount Samurai, and we're going to do it this. Okay, I'm going to get you back where I need you to be.
Yeah.
Okay. I've done that many times, by the way. A few times. But God doesn't waste a good crisis. And there's so many things that I look at in my life, looking back now, that I can see where God said, here I'm involved in this somehow. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Oh. See, now you're getting convicting in nature. So we're going to close out this counterculture.
Do we need to
Before
pray?
I
let's
have to
pray.
before-
Just as I am. Okay.
That's a beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
Come to Jesus. Come to
Hopefully,
Jesus.
hopefully people are convicted by this. Listen,
None.
we want you to have fixed-eyed moments. We want God to work so mightily in your life that like he turns the spotlight on you and everybody's looking at you, right? But the concern in those moments is, are you going to commandeer what God is doing? Are you going to take it for yourself and start taking all the glory? Listen, even Grammy and Oscar winners grasp that that's not such a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Because they always stand up and say,
Thank
I
you,
want
God."
to thank you, God, for
Yeah.
giving me all these talents. So they even get, like, that's a bad idea to take all of the credit for yourself.
Okay. Now
Let's
here's the
not
line.
do this.
Here's the line, though. Here's the line. Here's your closing line.
Okay.
They may look at us, but may they see Jesus.
There you go.
That is good. Right there,
That is
baby.
very
Right
good.
there. Come on. Come
We'll-
on. Come on. Blow it up, baby. Blow it up.
We'll
Blow it up.
see you next time.
Take that one to the bank. That's money. That's money.
We'll see you next time
All
on
right.
Counter Culture.